Right, ladies and gentlemen, we move on with 5 2-minute rounds of Muay Thai action. Would you welcome first into the red corner, representing KO South, Micheal KALUNGA. And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent in the blue corner, representing the Burn Gym, Piotr KALUNDZINSKI.
5 2-minute rounds of Muay Thai action. B class this, Micheal KALUNGA from KO South versus Piotr KALUNDZINSKI from the Burn Gym. So we will see knees to the head in this one if necessary. And we move up, as I said, Chris, to 5 rounds here.
Piotr KALUNDZINSKI, a very aggressive Muay Thai stylist. KALUNGA, a smooth operator. I love watching this kid fight. So this is going to be another classic matchup here tonight.
Well, when you mention smooth operator, that's very much KO South. Very, very well schooled indeed. Very good pedigree and history.
And KALUNGA now duking it out in the clinch with double underhooks there.
Yes, it's an important position here for both men because it tells you so much about your opponent's strength, his balance, his technique here when you're trying to angle. I think Faisal's looking for them there to see whether he needs to split them yet. And you can see the check there on the inside from Piotr.
Piotr struggling a little bit right now with the leverage that KALUNGA has been able to secure.
Well, this is the thing that the clinch tells you. There's so much you can exploit about your opponent. And both men looking to do that now. And as you said, I think that the sweet movement of Micheal KALUNGA here has impressed me in this clinch. But again, the defensive work has been very good from Piotr.
Look at the way that KALUNGA shuts down his hips by staying so tight. This guy is very well schooled, and this is what the hours in the gym all culminate to. The way he's got his arms locked up like that with the gloves.
And you saw the little leap there, Chris, to put the extra pressure on the thigh.
Like I said, very smooth.
And as I said, a lot of time is spent in the clinch here, but both men working consistently, and it's again a battle of knees as we saw earlier.
End of the round. An interesting one that. KALUNGA raises his arms. And I think he took a couple of those early flurries from KALUNDZINSKI and then thought to himself, I'm going to get a hold of my man.
I think that was it, Chris, and I think he raised his arm because he took it early into the clinch. And then you mentioned control and the positioning. He controlled the clinch, he controlled the turns, he got his knees in. And at the end of the day, as you said, he kept it nice and tight and he was working. And those arms pumping in the air said to his opponent, I really owned you in that clinch. And now it wasn't that far, but he did do a good job of controlling that opening round.
And it negated the blitz that Piotr seemed to want to try and use there. I mean, the guy's got really wicked kicks and punches, so it's a smart tactic against a dangerous guy. The second of 5 up right now.
2 of a potential 5. And Chris, both men have set out their stalls. As you said, Piotr, so explosive. He wants to be there on the outside. He wants this at range. And that said, immediately Micheal KALUNGA gave him what he wanted for those few seconds before they tie up once more. And you can see the control of the arms of Piotr. When they get in the clinch, the the Burn Gym man is frustrated by the tactics from Micheal KALUNGA.
It's not a stalling tactic, it's actually an offensive maneuver, and that's the difference right now, especially in these rule set. And it's going to score very nicely for KALUNGA right now.
Well, as you can see, Piotr's trying to tie up that right leg to stop him throwing the left, and now they will finally break. But it was good tactics from Piotr there, because when he negated that right leg, he couldn't get the torque to use that left leg, KALUNGA, but you can see how keen both men are to get going. There's a slight nick to the side of the left eye of Piotr as well.
Piotr got to stop kicking first. He needs to punish Kalunga more intelligently, I would say, with straight punches and lateral footwork. He's got to be like a little bit of a matador here, because he knows that Kalunga at this point, 3 times now, has initiated the clinch in this fashion.
And Micheal knows it as well, so this is the great tactical thing here. Piotr will really benefit from keeping this as long as possible in the middle of the ring, because here he's playing second fiddle to everything that Micheal Kalunga does, and it will frustrate him and tire him as this round goes on. Again, it's the positioning of Micheal Kalunga. He's got where he needed to be, off-balance his opponent, the knee goes in again.
Less than 30 seconds on the clock.
Yes, and Micheal Kalunga, it might not look too pretty to some, but the Muay Thai purists here are appreciating his control, and you hear those ois. Well, every time you hear that oi, he's turned his man subtly and thrown the knee. So every time, if you hear it in the background, oi, the knee has been thrown.
And you can see his grip right now with that over-under. Look at the way he uses his shoulders to control him. I mean, this guy is so talented, man. And that, to me, again, was a hallmark of his control throughout that. It wasn't just the fact that he was holding on to Piotr, it was the fact that he was using all of his movement, all of his body, if you will, to try and control a really aggressive and dangerous guy.
Well, he controlled his opponent's body, the clinch the way he had it set up, controlled his movement. Piotr, for his own benefit, tried, as you could see, to check, to pull the leg in to stop the balance, but Micheal Kalunga was having none of it, and this was the thing. At the end of the round, Piotr looked to his corner as if to say, what do I do now? Because Micheal Kalunga was willing to take that little flurry, as you said, from Piotr to get where he needs to be, and then he controls where it goes on the canvas there. As I said, for some, the more you say to traditional kickboxing, it's not pretty, but it is so effective in controlling. And I think when he punched his arms in the air, that wasn't bravado. I think he knew it, and the body language of both men told its own story.
And that, to me, is going to be very interesting when we see what Piotr may try to do differently now in the third. This is a key round here, and we will see what happens next in a moment.
Third round, and Piotr, as Chris said earlier, he relies on the teep kick to keep his man away, whereas I feel, as Chris said, a stiff jab as Micheal comes in would really work dividends. But again, Micheal has changed his own game plan, saying, look, I'm not just a clincher, I can box, I can kick, and it's a complete change of tactics from the KO South man, and it's taken Piotr by surprise here in the third.
I think it's smart, get him tired and then open up on him.
And if you look closely, the right cheekbone now of Piotr is also bruised and reddened, and I think he was shocked by the fact that he was ready again for just this thing to happen, the clinch, and instead kicks and punches are thrown by his opponent from all angles, which asks him to think again. So now, when they go into the clinch once more, he's disorientated again.
I'm loving every minute of this performance right now from Kalunga, because you can see, look at that, the way he whips that punch in. Piotr is super, super aggressive and efficient as well. I mean, these are great technical punches and bunches.
They were the best moments of the bout so far for Piotr. He had a very good stomach shot with the right hand, a nice right leg to the thigh of Micheal Kalunga, and I think it's no coincidence that Micheal now goes into the clinch, because that was Piotr's best moments.
And for all you MMA fans right now, you are seeing exactly why Muay Thai is such an excellent base for grappling. He's going to get a warning there for holding onto Piotr. Nonetheless, the action rolls on.
Piotr's had a new lease of life here, Chris, when he's allowed, as you rightly said, you told us what his strengths were beforehand, and he's managing to utilize them in the third. And Micheal, as you can see, is far more desperate now to close that gap and get into that clinch, because Piotr has had a really good share of this third round.
Just a few seconds here to go, and that's it. Third round in the books.
Well, that round for me, Chris, was different for so many reasons. First, Micheal Kalunga came out with different tactics. He fought Piotr's game. I like that. He's telling his opponent, don't think I haven't got these skills. But as the round went on, that actually suited his opponent more. And Piotr, we actually finally saw what he is capable of. And it was no coincidence for me that because of that, Micheal attempted twice in the round to get back into that clinch situation, but it wasn't with the same effect here in the third.
But it wasn't also with the same entry, and that to me was one of the most fantastic moments. Highlight-worthy stuff there in the first, with Kalunga going bonkers on him with kicks and punches. and looked as fresh as ever. You know, you ask yourself about the conditioning and preparation for this type of contest, and spending the better part of 2 full rounds in the clinch is exhausting. But Kalunga looked like he was just seconds into the first, really. So it's going to be very interesting to see whether or not he can continue this pace, and how, moreover, he implements that game plan. We continue to the 4th round.
So 4 of 5, and we've had an intriguing contest that has taken many twists and turns here, and it's doing the same again, because Micheal Kalunga, as you can see, is not so keen to clinch up. He's looking to match Piotr, but you've seen Piotr go in confidence here, look, with those shots. This is what he's expecting. This is what he likes to do. This is the type of pressure fight he likes to be in.
Look at the way that Kalunga kicks low, and by that I mean beneath the knee. More difficult to check, and very effective in attacking the calf.
Oh,
big swing there from Kalunga, and a power slam as his opponent, Piotr Kalundzinski, charges in.
And it's given him new confidence, and listen to the crowd respond to this. And again, have you noticed that Micheal Kalunga, when things get really tough, goes back to default setting, which is let's clinch him in, let's slow this down, let's start working him. It's a good tactic when you've had exchanges like that. And Kalundzinski, as you said, comes into his own. Micheal goes back and says, right, let's slow this down again, let's pull it inside, let's work him inside. And immediately there's no coincidence that was straight into the clinch, because those were dangerous moments. Best moments of the fight in late round 3 and early 4 here for his opponent, Piotr.
And despite moments of brilliance from both men on the outside, even 2 steps out, I mean, it was really cool to see them kickbox at distance. But nearly going out of the ring as they ensue the clinch. 20 seconds on the clock.
Oh, and a straight right hand from Kalunga came in nicely and straight back into the clinch. Piotr takes him down again and lands heavily on him.
I think a little bit of revenge for what happened earlier in the fight. Nonetheless, back to the upright.
And again, you mentioned the strength of the young man, and that shone in this round for the blue corner.
So some interesting takeaways there, Malcolm. We saw the clinch again, but I think we saw the work rate go down a little bit from both men. Obviously, though, it seems to me Kalunga wants to avoid the power punches and kicks of Piotr.
Yeah, Piotr, I thought, had a much better round this round. And again, the clinch work wasn't as effective from Micheal, and the power of Piotr really came through in this round. And Micheal, we saw, went back to default setting, and by that I mean went to go for the clinch again. But Piotr even seemed to have a better defense this round for this, and you can see he's a very strong young man, and his right hand in particular is very dangerous. And I feel as this has gone on, he's slowly started to work his way back into this bout.
And the one thing also was the fact that even if Kalunga doesn't accumulate as many points as he did, say, in the first 2 rounds in the clinch, he's disallowing Piotr to do what he wants to do, and that's part of fighting. We continue into the final couple of minutes of this incredible fight. Full tie rules, B-class, and the crowd loving it.
So with this 5th and final round, it really is about tactics now, and they clinch up in the middle. And again, Micheal Kalunga looking to turn his man and throw that knee, but Piotr has really changed tactics. And Micheal Kalunga was upset with that, as you see. He's taking him down and then landing on top of him. And it negates that clinch of Michael's. Piotr says, no, I'm not clinching. Bang, down we go.
And Kalunga happy to get a hold here again. Underhook on the left. The way he closes his elbows in on this. His control is so tight. Suffocating.
And he's working that left knee consistently as well, Chris. When he gets the opportunity, that left knee working the thigh of Piotr, who tries to tie him up now. He tries to get the leg lock there. And our referee, Faisal, I think rightly breaks them here. And you can see what Micheal wants. This is, he feels, his key to victory. He's had a good look at Piotr in 3 and 4 and thought, you know what, this lad could be a bit of a handful.
And Kalunga.
Piotr went for the takedown there again. He went for the leg reap, didn't quite get it. And Kalunga has set out his stall in this 5th and final round. I think in his body clock he's thinking 1 and 2 were definitely me. I think I've got 3, but I'm not sure about 4.
And you can see him going to work there on that left leg of Piotr. Kalunga was attacking that repeatedly.
And it's difficult here for Piotr because he was getting up some momentum, and now Micheal has just stifled all that momentum.
And what a tussle this has been, a real clinch war of attrition. Kalunga bites down on his mouthpiece, and you can see him, their eyes closed, actually throwing these strikes.
I think through these tactics he will genuinely grind out a decision win here. Piotr showed his strength, especially in rounds 3 and 4, but Micheal, I feel, thought, why risk that? Round 5, very frustrating round, I feel, for Piotr, and I think by going back to the clinch, Micheal might have taken this in what was, as you said, a fascinating mix of styles.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, let's hear it for both men after 5 hard rounds of action. But we do have your winner by way of unanimous decision. And he's in the red corner, Micheal.